Call to order, Board of Alderman meeting, Monday, October 20th, 2025. Please stand for pledge of allegiance. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Alderman Earhart.
Here.
Alderman Gallagher.
Here.
Alderwoman Grunwald.
Here.
Alderman Jarrett.
Here.
Alderman Poland.
Here.
Alderman Wells.
Here. Moving on to agenda approval. Have I had a chance to look it over? Comments? Looks good. Entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Moving on consent agenda. Had a chance to look at it. It's approval of draft minutes from October 6, 2025.
On the minutes of the meeting under Yard of the Month, it says that Mayor Chateau stated that the next meeting would have awards for the Halloween. That should say November 3rd, not next meeting. That would be today, and that's too early. So that would need to be amended to November 3rd.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda as amended.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Moving on to officer recognition.
Okay, so we'll start with, earlier this month, we held a round of promotional testing for the police department. We have had a vacancy in one sergeant position for quite some time, and with the newly created investigations unit that we're adding, which Sergeant Chalmers moved over to run, that opened another patrol sergeant vacancy. So we conducted our assessment center testing earlier this month, which had several members from several different law enforcement jurisdictions. Ms. Williams helped out, Mr. Earhart helped out, and at the end of that we made 2 promotions. So we're going to kind of do a ceremonial thing that we do when somebody changes rank, which is the pinning of the badge. So we will start with Alex Goodman. Okay. Alex Goodman's been with us for several years tonight, been promoted to the rank of sergeant. He is being pinned by his wife, Sparkle Lynn Goodman. Our second sergeant promoted is Officer Jacob Keltner, being promoted to the rank of sergeant tonight. Jake's been with our police department, not as long, but in law enforcement a little longer than Officer Goodman. But he is being pinned tonight by his wife, Sarah Keltner.
It's okay with the spouse to stab him. Let's see what's going on here.
It's got to go through his vest too. Remember that.
I was going to say, don't stab him.
Oh, you're too nice.
Okay, in addition to those, we have a commendation tonight for a couple of officers. This was submitted by Lieutenant Grab Miller on September 23rd, 2025. Officer Volkman and Field Training Officer at the time, Keltner, responded to an EMS call regarding a possible overdose in the 400 block of Willow Street. Upon arrival, they were met by concerned individuals outside the residence who reported that a male party was down and unresponsive inside. Upon entering the scene, Officer Volkman and FTO Keltner quickly assessed the individual and noted almost no pulse. Demonstrating swift and decisive action, Officer Volkman administered Narcan while both officers repositioned the male into recovery posture, checked for airway obstructions, and continued monitoring vital signs until West Peculiar Fire Protection District personnel arrived and assumed medical care. During this critical period, Officer Volkman engaged with the male party's mother, who was present and visibly distraught. Officer Volkman maintained a calm, composed demeanor, effectively gathering personal information and providing support amidst the emotionally charged environment. Concurrently, FTO Keltner also provided clear and effective direction to officers, ensuring coordinated efforts throughout the incident. Were it not for their prompt and alert actions, the patient may have died. Compounding the complexity of the scene, another individual who had been present attempted to leave in a vehicle, struck another parked car before fleeing. Despite the added disruption, all officers remained focused on the primary medical emergency, demonstrating commendable restraint, situational awareness, and professionalism. For their actions in this event, we are awarding Officer Volkman and now Sergeant Keltner with the life-saving ribbon.
We'll just crop you out later, Alex.
Thank you, everyone. We appreciate your service you're providing for our city.
Bye.
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 That's crowd. Let's give him a minute. Yeah. All right, we'll move on to topic of discussion, street repairs.
Yes, thank you, Mayor and Board. As you know, we identified three primary streets from the Stantec report to repair with last fiscal year's dollars, and those have already been scheduled, beginning with Summerskill, moving on then to Maverick Circle, and then Sibley. Those streets will begin repair by Tandem Paving next week. The Public Works Committee met for the first time tonight to identify the streets with the highest need thereafter, with the budget dollars that we had identified and what's available. That recommendation of that committee would be to start then after Sibley is finished, to have Tandem stay in town while the weather's good and keep repairing streets as far as we can with the budget dollars we have and the weather that we have, as long as that holds out. Beginning then with Cannacourt, Bradley's, Parkway, and then Centennial. Those were the next three that were identified from the Stantec report list, and that's the recommendation of the committee. In addition to that, some of those dollars would also be spent in working in the rodeo grounds along Buckaroo and over to Sibley to repair and mitigate some of the flooding issues that we've had in the rodeo grounds for quite some time. And channel some of that water off and fix some storm lining that needs to be done. So as long as the board's amenable to the recommendation of the Public Works Committee and doesn't have any objection.
We put a notice out there so the citizens know and what streets are getting repaired.
You guys can go ahead and speak to that.
Yeah, CK Smith is gonna be putting out notices and flyers and door hangers to all the folks that'll be seeing
Affected.
road repairs in front of their homes, prior to going there.
Be good to get these done.
Yes.
In addition, we will do some public notice for the drainage work that we're gonna do, and that'll be, between me and Tony to get that done ahead of it.
Very good. Thank you, guys.
Well, thank you very much.
Be good to get some work done, because I know there's been some notices in Facebook and all on social media saying, hey, when are roads getting fixed? So it's good to get started.
So right off the bat, our new employees are paying us dividends forward. So thank you, Jill. Thank you, Tony, for the work already. As the city administrator said, we held our first Public Works meeting, so we're excited about those in the future. But we talked about the roads, the road list we've had for months. and Tony just brushed on the work that we're gonna do with our own employees to save us a considerable amount of money. I don't wanna put a dollar amount on it, but we're gonna do a lot of work ourselves to save us a lot of money, and we're excited about what we're gonna do going forward with that experience and knowledge and training that he's gonna be able to offer the public works employees, and then to the equipment that we're gonna buy via what we put into the budget. So it's a positive step and the right step going forward for the city. So thank you both.
Yeah, thank you, Tony and Jill. It's a breath of fresh air. Last week we had a little meeting, and to sit on the other side of the table and have people have the confidence to get the job done for us is a huge game changer for our town. So we thank you. All right, moving on to agenda requests. We have none. Unfinished business, golf carts and low-speed vehicles update.
Yes, sir. So at the last meeting, Board of Aldermen meeting, there was a bill brought forward to the floor regarding golf carts by Alderman Jarrett, which was tabled. Thereafter, I was contacted by several of you with ideas and discussion about the bill as it was presented, and also the potential to present a new one as a low-speed vehicle ordinance and not golf carts at all. So we got to work, staff did our research, and we found that golf carts are only covered under a homeowner's policy if it remains on the homeowner's property. Some golf carts can be insured with special insurance for operating on the roads, some cannot. Not every insurance company offers that kind of insurance, and it's very, very specific. And in talking with attorneys, including our own general counsel and our prosecutor, they cautioned against allowing golf carts just because we don't want to be the test case if something terrible happens. It is possible that we could be sued if we have created an ordinance and issued a permit for such a vehicle and then something terrible happens. We've been advised that we would likely win the lawsuit at trial, but that's typically not what happens 99% of the time when you get sued. It ends up in a settlement 99% of the time. Now, it's true that you can get sued for most anything nowadays, but there's always things you can do to mitigate that exposure, and so that's kind of what we're talking about. The best practices of risk management involve trying to avoid being sued in the first place, obviously. Now, low-speed vehicles are not the same as golf carts. The difference to me, at least a layperson, is extremely subtle in just looking at them. It's basically a lot of the matter is how they're constructed, their safety features, their equipment, and how fast they can go. And obviously there's a price tag associated with that most of the time. Low-speed vehicles are defined in the Code of Federal Regulations, 49 CFR 571.500. All those definitions are in there. And it's the same deal. They can be insured if the insurance company allows for them to be insured. Not all the insurance companies provide that, and some would get denied. So Alderman Jarrett pointed out that low-speed vehicles are already allowed by right, by Missouri statute 304.029, and they have been since 2004. So it's nothing new. This is much the same way that motorized bicycles and mopeds and so forth are already allowed by statutes. They don't have to have a vehicle license, but the driver has to have a driver's license if it's on a roadway, public roadway. They have to be fully insured, and they have to have proof of that insurance. They have to follow all the same rules of the road, and the other stipulation of the state statute is that they cannot drive on any roadway that has a speed limit above 35 miles per hour. The state statute allows cities to make ordinance that are more restrictive than the state statute, but it doesn't seem that that's what anyone on the board is intending to do, to make it more restrictive than the statute. And it doesn't really seem necessary. The state law is pretty good as it stands. Going right back to the liability piece, why would we intentionally do that and put ourselves there when the state statute already covers it and so forth? So the question then arose of why we would have a utility vehicle ordinance that we do, but not a low-speed vehicle. Well, and the difference there was the state statute for utility vehicles starts by saying that UTVs cannot be operated on the road unless, and then there's stipulations that allow it. On the other hand, a low-speed vehicle state statute starts by saying that a person may operate them on a street unless. So one starts by prohibiting, one starts by allowing. That's the biggest difference between the two. So we have to do the UTV one if we allowed them to be on the street, which we do. We also took steps to confirm that the proof of insurance we have already been receiving for UTVs is sufficient for road operation, and they are. We did confirm that. And so, from the perspective of Alderman instructions to city staff, it's my understanding that there's no desire to bring the golf cart bill back, nor is it the board's desire to have any staff draft anything for low-speed vehicles. And I just wanted to verify that that is indeed the purpose and directive.
Am I on board with that?
Yeah, I think we can just follow state regulation on this one, with low-speed vehicles.
Tony, you have something?
So as we discussed, I mean, that obviously the state statute says what it says, and the onus is on the owner of the vehicle to ensure that he's abiding by, that. Same with UTVs and a motor vehicle operation. So yeah, if there's no reason for us to add anything, which we would then accept the responsibility and liability, let it go as written. And dump the golf cart issue. I guess I'll take one for the team and say I'll take it and dump it for the and move on.
So we have to make a motion to get rid of it, or
Don't know that we
just
necessarily have to do anything.
Just unfinished business. Just let everything like they are. Yeah, this is a discussion. Well, thank you, Tony, for doing your research and being determined to get something done for your constituents.
Well, the person over there across the highway, he's probably watching the video right now. He's probably got outside doing donuts with his.
He's probably gonna run across the street and meet you here tonight.
Well, if he is watching, I will say I did take the time to educate our officers on low-speed vehicles, so they are aware.
So we'll see here in a little bit.
All right. Well, thank you, Tony. Okay, moving on, new business. Bill 2025-19, first read.
Mr. Eppert will address.
Thank you, sir, and good evening. Try that one more time. Thank you, sir, and good evening. Tonight you have in front of you a request to amend the final plat approval of Meadowbrook Lakes. First plat, final plat including 44 residential lots. If you all will remember, the board actually approved this final plat on August 4th of 2025, and then it was re-brought back to the Planning Commission on October 9th, where it was a 5-1 vote for their recommendation of approval to the board. The one vote that was nay was actually requiring more sidewalks, so it wasn't necessarily part of the application, but they wanted to vote nay. So, Mayor and Holden were there, so obviously if you have any questions on that, we're happy to help assist with any of those. With that being said, the request tonight is essentially with the original approval, there was 3 conditions that were outlined. That third condition is what is really being discussed tonight. And that condition essentially says the right-of-way must be obtained and recorded with the Cass County Recorder of Deeds, both the north property owner, which is the city, as well as the south property owner, which is the medical clinic to the southwest. In your packet, you'll see an email that was attached essentially from the property owner to the south that essentially does not appear to be interested in leaving any portion of that south property. And so obviously that allows for the applicant to have to come back before you all tonight and just say, hey, we can't do this, can we remove the condition? So that's really what the request is tonight. There's also an amendment to the development agreement in your packet as well, number 12, which just kind of says, if Jamar Street can be widened, it shall be widened as approved by the city. And so obviously those discussions are occurring internally right now as we speak. Staff would recommend approval of this, and obviously that's what we'll do.
So we're just talking about the third one, the right-of-way is obtained and recorded, just striking that.
That is correct. Conditions 1 and 2 would still stay.
Okay.
Anyone have any questions? Comments? I entertain a motion to have the first reading by title only.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Bill 2025-19, first read, an ordinance of the Board of Aldermen of the City of Peculiar, Missouri, approving an amendment to Ordinance 08042025C for the 44-lot final plan of Meadowbrook Lakes East Subdivision, first plat, on 20.25 acres west of 250 South Main Street and north of Windmill Country Estates subdivision, amending certain conditions of approval, applicant Frontier Developments, LLC.
Entertain a motion to accept the first reading of by title only.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Alderman Earhart,
Aye.
Alderman Gallagher,
Aye.
Alderwoman Grunwald,
Aye.
Alderman Jarrett,
Aye.
Alderman Poland,
Aye.
Alderman Wells.
Alright, moving on to resolution 2025-60.
Mr. Everett again?
Do my last time, I promise.
Live.
Tonight you have in front of you a resolution to essentially transfer 25 of the 34 credits that were essentially originally and still currently owned until approved tonight by Boris Briggs, who's the current property owner directly behind us. It appears that back in 2018 there was some type of settlement agreement between the city and Mr. Briggs, just showing essentially there was a $40,000 amount that we, the city, owed, and at the time did not have money to pay for that. And so the agreement essentially outlined those credits that essentially are going to be in the form of water tax or the lights. Essentially, it doesn't have to be for water tax. It's just however much those taps will at the time that they're cashed in, essentially, which waited a good amount of time, and therefore those credits are actually worth more they were originally. We really don't have a say in this. This is really just to formalize this, as this was kind of a judgment passed down in the courts.
Yeah.
This has now been transferred essentially to Frontier Development, but the best way for us in the city to track this is to, every time credits get spent or transferred to another body, we'll be seeing this quite a bit. And so that's just the best way for us to keep track, so that eventually, when those 34 water taps are used up, we will have a clear record of everything that has been spent. And so that would be our fiscal track all the time for however long this takes. So, obviously, happy to answer any questions. There's not really a recommendation from staff.
As what it is, yeah. Well, hopefully in the future, if we ever get ourselves in a bind like that, we would be able to pay it out.
Yeah.
And,
I'll make a
not be in
better
this situation again.
Yeah, or make a better decision in general, yeah.
Anybody have any more questions or comments? Mike?
Just one.
sir.
On these water taps, how many lots are going to be available back here?
44
40.
initially with the first plat.
Okay, so these water taps can go to any of those 44 lots?
Essentially, they can be used for anything. If he wanted to take all 25 of those taps and put it towards 7 building permits to get them for free.
It's just basically a credit.
Yeah, essentially, the 25 taps, I believe, this equates to $77,500. So he can use that money as.
However he wishes.
Right. At least right now, we're at least stopping it.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I
just,
got
it's
you.
been growing.
The unfortunate part is there's obviously still, 9 water taps that are still in Mr. Briggs' name, because there's 34 total, and it's only transferred 25 of those. I think as the subdivision grows, though, the rest of those credits will be
Used.
to
Frontier.
Frontier Development. So,
How many lots are total?
it should be 111 on the east side of this.
You talk about water taps or the total lots?
Total lots.
Total lots, 111.
So this resolution is just for record keeping, basically.
Basically.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2025-60.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Moving on, resolution 2025-61.
This is a resolution to amend the operating budget with regard to the capital improvements plan that was put forward. Obviously, the capital improvements portion of that was initially set up by the predecessor in Public Works, and with new blood in there, they've come up with some different ideas to change that. So Mr. Solis here tonight to present on that, since he did most of the heavy lifting to put that forward.
You didn't know we were going to put you in the hot seat tonight, did you?
So I knew I'd be in the
Seeing
hot
what you
seat.
are, how you handle pressure.
I knew I'd be in the hot seat. I wasn't sure in which order I would be in the hot seat. So, so the first proposal of the CIP what we're proposing is the board had previously approved $170,000 to purchase a new public works truck with salt spreader bed and plow. So as you read through that in your packets, what you'll see is that we've broken that down to do a complete and total overhaul on the current F-550s that we own, making them more usable for us. We will be getting one new plow and one new cinder bed with those, all new flatbeds and dump beds on our trucks that we currently own with all new hydraulic systems. And as you read down through there, we reallocate $150,000 of that to, or $147,000 of that, excuse me, to the F-550 overhaul is what we're calling that. That will leave $21,000 of that money that we would like to create ST 2026-004. I'm sorry. Yeah, 009. Excuse me. We would like to set that up to purchase a road groom implement. And if you guys don't know what that is, it's a drag behind implement that we'll be able to use on gravel lots, gravel roads, anything we've got in this city, including parks and rec trails and roads. Then of that $70,000, that leaves $170,000. That leaves $2,000 remaining. We would like to take that $2,000 and put that in CIP ST-2026-003 and put it in there, which will be back into what we were using, the fund we were using for our new brine system. We found that we actually had a brine applicator system stuck back in one of our barns, and it just was not in working order. So for a small amount of money, we now have 2 brine sprayers, and we need those funds to make that second brine sprayer happen to get our town taken care of during snow events. So restructuring that amount of money puts us in a whole lot better shape to take care of the city in every season of the year, rather than just purchasing one truck that we don't have a driver for.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
Mike?
absolutely.
So, and this was brought up in our Public Works Committee, and they do recommend.
We've actually got
Questions, Mike?
a brine spreader just sitting in storage tonight.
So we had a 300-gallon brine spreader sitting in storage. The gas engine was no good. The pump was eaten up. Turns out the company that we bought our new brine system from actually works on them, and they got us a brand new electric pump and motor and all the electronics to hook it up in one of our trucks for half the cost of it. So,
Awesome.
Thanks, Tony.
yes, sir.
One question.
Yes, sir.
As far as a storage capacity for the liquid, where do we stand on that?
So our storage capacity for this year is 3,000 gallons. The plan is to grow. Obviously, we have a 1,000-gallon brine spreader and now a 300-gallon brine spreader coming. So we'll run through that pretty quickly. The idea is prior to any snow events, we will actually go ahead and make enough brine to fill the 3,000-gallon tank, the 300-gallon tank, and the 1,000-gallon tank, and then continue to make brine as each event goes on. We would like to grow in the future to potentially a 5,000-gallon tank. That's something we could talk about going forward, but for now, we'll put the elbow grease in with what we've got and do better than we ever done before.
Do you feel like with the storage we have right now, you'll be able to keep up with, I'm not talking about a major event, but you'll be able to do most of the streets and keep up with it?
I do believe we will be able to keep up with most major events, yes.
Super, thank you.
Way better than last year.
from what I understand.
Yeah, I don't wanna be in this seat when this happens like last year.
Oh,
So, thank you. Thank you for being proactive and reallocating and,
One thing, Mayor.
yes, sir.
Tony, the, storage of this stuff, this liquid, is it above ground, below ground?
It's above ground storage.
Okay. Does it bother if we were to develop a leak? Does it bother any vegetation? Does it bother fish? Anything of that nature?
So if there was a leak, this small of a storage tank would not, considering the brine is only water and salt. So that's the beauty of it. It is natural. Would it bother vegetation on its way to the outfalls? Yes, it would, but that would just mean that we don't have to mow in the spring. It
Well,
will not kill the fish.
the only reason I was saying anything of that nature is because you've got some ponds down below the maintenance building out there.
Yes, sir.
And I don't want it to get to the point where if we do develop a leak, that it gets into their ponds and starts killing fish and whatnot.
We'll have a Dead Sea spa.
Yeah, to answer your question, no, we will not be having any troubles with the salt by the time it gets to where it's going.
Okay. So would you, let me ask you this one, this is it, would you require, like diesel tank requires a block, set up around it for spillage and whatever? Would we have something like that out there as a precautionary measure?
It's not required. We can look into it if it's something that the council chooses.
Okay,
And we wouldn't store it all year. It's just when we use it, and when it's done, we're done.
Correct. We'll put it all away for spring, summer, and fall.
Is it something we mix, or it comes in as like salt and we just mix it?
Yeah, the salt that we have currently in our salt barn, we'll use that to mix our own 23.3% salt brine in the salt brine maker that was purchased and installed. And you're all more than welcome to come and see it and
I'd like to see that.
check that out.
It was very cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool system.
Thanks, Tony.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
They just built a nice new little pad for it too. I'll give them that a little plug. In an area that we had grass, they pulled it out, put some clean base rock down, and has a nice little pad area for the tank. Looks really nice. So come by and look at it.
All right.
I have I guess that's no more questions?
No,
Make a motion to-
it's a motion to.
Oh,
Yeah,
there's more.
And there's more.
Wait,
There is more.
There's more.
Thank you.
So
like Christmas.
the other staff report is so
We're going way down.
what we would also like to change is to take 76,000 from the fiscal year 2025-2026 budget and expenditures related to street preservation, Fund 21, Road and Street Fund. What we want to do is we want to purchase a mini PaveJet MG7. That's just a lot of letters and the number there to some people. So quickly to explain what that is, it's a small hot mix asphalt paver that will allow us to patch our roads with hot mix anywhere from 6-inch wide paths up to 6 feet in-house, saving us an immense amount of money on outsourcing. A side note to that is the walk paths and trails and things that we will be able to maintain and build and to make things for the citizens even more useful.
Yeah.
That is, like I said, 76,000 for that purchase, and we would like to transfer that 76,000 to be accepted in CIP 2026-008.
So we're taking that out of Fund 21 and putting it into a CIP.
Still staying in Fund 21.
Okay.
We're just reallocating
Just
funds
allotting it.
from some CIPs into other and creating 2 new projects,
Okay.
basically.
Well, the money that's gonna save us makes total sense.
Do you have an estimate on how much it might save?
How much what might take?
Like
Might
doing all this,
save?
do you know, like how much in outsourcing and stuff it'll save?
I don't have an estimate, but I can
A lot.
tell you I did look at
A lot
some
is a number,
previous
that's fine.
bills where small patch jobs were costing us upwards of $50,000 and $60,000.
For a patch.
And this machine that hooks to the front of our skid steer, where we can haul in our own hot mix asphalt and patch our streets ourselves, is $76,000 one time with a very long warranty.
And this is just a patch, like you wouldn't be able to redo the street.
We wouldn't be able to redo a street, no, but we would be able to maintain and make what streets we do have that are in good shape last a whole lot longer. Not to mention when we have to do street cuts for things like storm sewer, waste sewer, and water main breaks, those kind of repairs will be quick and easy.
Well, and it'll look more professional instead of just
And
slapped
smoother,
down.
yeah.
And just to give you an example of what he's trying to say here, if you look out there by Casey's, when we did the work there, this would be a good example of where he'd probably be able to pave that himself as opposed to having somebody else pave it. Is that correct?
That is correct. That is a water leak that has been ongoing, and we have been chasing, and we have pinpointed it. But in the destruction of finding it, we've left holes, and this is something we'll be able to go back and fix ourselves anytime.
I don't have to contract with Tandem or somebody to do it.
So we don't have to wait on anything but weather.
Yeah.
I think you could probably make back the cost in about 4 decent-sized patches. Make back the cost of the machine.
So I just have a few questions, and I'm kind of skipping around a little bit, but with the asphalt, I know you and I talked before, and the hot asphalt, they're kind of stopping right now because of the winter. Is that something that we'll be able to do in-house? Do you have to order that stuff? Like, how does that work?
So there's 3 major hot mix asphalt plants in our general area. And they are going to be shutting down before too long, which is why we discussed streets and paving earlier. Dawn did. Those guys are going to be here and using out of those plants to finish up these projects. So by the time this machine got here, the company will come down and give us 2 days of training on said machine in the spring when those plants open back up, and we'll be firing off on all cylinders.
Cool. And then, just to go, I'm going way back
Yep.
to the beginning where you said that the whatever the thing you pull in with the gravel and the stuff. So can you use that for like Knight Road to fix and
Yes,
even that
ma'am.
out? Is it doable there?
Yes, ma'am. It will maintain Knight Road. It will fix potholes. It will replace the crown in the middle. It will pull berms from the edges.
Oh,
It'll
nice.
also allow us to maintain, this specific model we're looking at is only 8.5 foot wide, so it'll also allow us to maintain gravel alleyways, roads and paths around our city lake, different gravel areas around our parks, and different parking lot areas that we have that are
And
gravel.
there's no special certification or anything you need for that?
No,
You
not at
just
all.
hook it up and go?
Hook it up and go, but I have personally used this implement, and one's exactly like it for years, so I will teach and train the guys how to use it to not
It's
cause
pretty,
mass
it's pretty
destruction.
simple. My neighbor across the street has one simple for his John Deere tractor. He does his driveway at least twice a year, and it makes his driveway look brand new.
Yeah, that worked great.
Fun.
They work
Pretty nice.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Tony, sorry to be such a pain.
You're not. Not at
Uh,
all.
Yeah.
will our equipment that we have presently, handle the extra weight? And is it big enough to do the job?
Yes, sir. This specific model is rated to be pulled behind nothing smaller than a 3/4 ton truck. We have 2 3/4 ton trucks, 4 F550s that are 1.25 tons, and we have a tractor as well that are all rated to pull this machine.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tony.
Well,
Yeah, thank you, Tony.
The other thing I would add is we do need to make a slight amendment to that resolution. And speaking with Ms. Williams upon her return today, anywhere where it says we'd be creating the project ending in 004, it just needs to be 009. So in 2 places, that number would need to be modified. So need to amend that.
Okay. I make a motion
Yeah,
to
that's a motion.
approve resolution 2025-62 as amended by changing the 04 to
Second.
Is it 60?
60. Oh, sorry, 61.
61.
My bad.
Oh,
Approve
61.
2025-61 as amended.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. Thanks for all your research and make some changes.
That
Hey,
was
Tony, we're gonna start getting used to this. She's saving us money and reallocating stuff that we don't have to buy new.
We're excited. These tools will give us the ability to do more work for you guys.
Not just for us, for everybody.
You guys as in the city, which
Yeah.
you guys represent all corners of. So, yeah.
Yeah,
And
thank
we
you.
appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, moving on to resolution 2025-62.
Ms. Seuss will speak.
This resolution, comes before you as I try to, clean up records that are here still at the city long after they should not be. We've scheduled a community shred event for this coming Saturday, and all the documents that are listed on this list, are here in the building past their retention schedule. Any documents that remain in a city that are in a city, whether they're past their retention schedule or not, are sunshineable. So it behooves you to continue to follow the retention schedules that are set up by the state regarding your documents. So all these documents here, are past their either expiration date or contract end date. They're all listed here. The only change is on the first 8 lines, the retention, it says retail 2 years after expiration. It should say
We're selling 'em.
retain. Retain, not retail. So that was incorrectly typed on the form. So, other than that, these are the documents that we plan to have shred here in the parking lot on Saturday by the company. And as soon as I receive the documentation from them that has been done and taken care of, there will be an Exhibit B added to this resolution, which will be that receipt, confirming that they shredded those documents.
All right.
Makes sense.
Any questions? Entertain a motion to approve resolution 2025-62.
So moved.
Hold on. Make a motion to it as amended. You have to do it as amended, right?
As amended to retain instead of
Correct.
retail.
Yeah.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Guy.
Opposed? All right, moving on, resolution 2025-63.
And Mr. Long will present.
Thank you, Mayor and Board. What you have is a resolution. The staff is seeking approval to use the Dorflinger gift to improve City Lake Park, as outlined by the multi-phase plan that we've put into the packet for you to look at. Just to make sure everyone's familiar with this. In March 23rd of 24, Peculiar received $201,000 for the take a little from the estate of Mary Dorflinger, who had the desire to see growth and development in the Parks Department and wished to establish an activity, equipment, or facility which preteen children could utilize. What we have is the plan. Phase 1 is to clean up the perimeter of the lake itself, specifically the northern shore and some of the smaller coves. Excuse me. And if you could look at page 75 of the packet. Phase 1 is to clean up the cattails, the duckweed, and the coontail. And I actually had some new information that I just received today, so I apologize it didn't make it into the packet. We kind of vetted out several companies to get an idea of how much this would cost and what the scope of the work would be. And after doing a little bit of research, we've narrowed it down to one company. And what they have for us is that the total cost of the cattail removal and the herbicidal treatment is going to be $92.50 for the first treatment of the lake, and if necessary, the next treatment will be significantly less in the spring. We're getting kind of late in the year to be able to do this, so if we shock it now, it'll be a lot easier if we have to do the cleanup next year. We've also got a good price for dredging, and this company was nice enough to break it down to buy silt bag. And if you're not familiar, they have an apparatus that will suck the silt off the bottom of the lake, and it fills these large bags that stay on the shore. And as they dry out, you end up with this really rich soil that we could have hauled off. 4-H could use it in their gardens over at Sutter's Creek. And so, moving further into the plan, once the lake is cleaned up, now we're back on page 75 of the packet. Phase 2 is to bring camping back to City Lake. And what you see in the first picture are the existing 10 pad sites for camping that we have previously run electrical to. We are planning to add picnic tables and ADA compliant fire rings to each of those sites. Excuse me. And the next slide, starting on page 76, is where we could, in the future, add more camping pad sites further past that double gate that leads to the police shooting range. Moving on to the next phase, we need to add a permanent restroom structure similar to what we have at McKernan Park. Just a simple two-sided with a little storage and mechanical unit and a play area for children. And again, I just got information today, so again, I apologize, it's not in the packet. The play area that we had picked out is an ADA compliant play area that would also be inclusive for children in wheelchairs or have mobility issues. The cost of that came in at about $45,000 for the play unit itself, with an additional cost of about $60,000 for the site prep, leveling, and wood mulch. And on page 77, you can see a specific example. That is the unit that we picked out for the lake. Just above that is an outline of phase 4, which is going to be a walking trail. That some of the equipment that our Public Works Department is talking about would be utilized to help get that laid around the lake, so that we'd like to have one continuous track. The red areas on the phase 4 graphic are where we would have to consider bridges or an alternative walking path, just because of proximity to the road or a span of the water. Let's see, on page 78 is just an example of the restroom structure that we were looking to put down. We had one bid come in already. It was ridiculously high and way out of our budget, and I have another bid that I'm waiting to come in, so hopefully at the next meeting I'll have a little bit more information on that for you. I hope that gives you a good outline of what it is that we'd like to spend this Dorflinger gift on. The only thing that we are actually ready to pull the trigger on right now is the cleaning up of the lake itself, the herbicidal treatment, and the dredging and the removing of the cattails. That would at least free up some of the fishing that needs to happen. Mm-hmm. We also have been in talks with Missouri Department of Conservation, and we are eligible to be put into a program where the Department of Conservation will help maintain fish habitat and stock the lake. They will not do that until after the lake has been cleaned up and the vegetation issue's been taken care of. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of it's a stepping stone. Tonight, if you approve the use of the Dorflinger gift, then it'll be a domino effect. From here on out, you'll see this happen, and then moving on to the next phase and the next phase. Does anyone have any questions so far?
I have one question. So you talked about $92.50 for the cattail removal. Mm-hmm. Is that including the algae, duckweed, and coontails? Like this, it's separated, right? It says approximately $6,500 for cattails and $4,500 for the rest of the stuff.
Correct. That was part of the
it dropped down from 11,000 to 92.
Correct.
Okay.
What we had at first was we had different aspects of this project that we had several companies bid on, and we ended up with 3 different companies coming in at our total lowest.
Gotcha.
So I contacted one of the companies that, in our opinion, and I believe Don agreed with me on this, was a little more favorable, and we asked him, we'd like to do everything with you. Can you help us out? And so that's what he came back with, was the $92.50 is cattail removal and herbicidal treatment. The $9,500 per bag is the dredging.
Yeah. Very good. Okay, so we're saving money.
Yes.
Got a question for the play area. And I'm no expert on play areas and ADA and all that, but, that does, well, two things, I guess, two-part question. Is wood chips what's recommended? Because I've heard in the past for a lot of play areas, they put down like the rubber chips because it's softer, kids fall.
Yes. So the lady that we spoke to that was bidding this for us, she gave us two different examples. I went with wood mulch because it actually, with site prep and everything, comes out to $60,350. The rubber mulch for the same site prep but using rubber is $71,544.
Okay.
So it's a good 11,000 and some change higher to go that route.
Okay.
Now, we are also still looking into matching fund grants from various places. At this point, we need to be able to say that we have the money to match them with, which comes down to the approval of the use of this gift.
Sure.
So, bear in mind that all of these prices then could potentially be 50-50 matched and be a lot lower for the city. So hopefully, once this is approved and we start getting grants rolling in, we'll get a lot more bang for our buck and be able to move forward.
It also allows us to do a lot more. Yep.
Yeah.
I think it's great. Since I've moved here, people have asked about it. It's like, basically useless in many ways, or near useless.
The first thing people said is clean up the lake.
Yep.
So I know that's a discussion later down is the wood versus rubber, but I personally would rather see the rubber mulch on there. I think it lasts longer. Wood, we'll have to replace the wood mulch every few years, so the cost is going to end up being higher than the rubber mulch. I know rubber might wash away or, kids throw it around, but it definitely lasts a lot longer. I put it around my pool and it's lasted 4 years. I haven't had to replace
It's also,
the thing.
from a safety standpoint, it's softer.
Yeah.
But like you said, if we start getting grants, a lot of things are possible.
That'll free up a lot of different things for us to do.
Yeah.
My understanding, we have more money than the 201 that we started with, right?
Yes, that money's been in, like I said, since about March of 2024, in our coffers, and so it's been gaining interest, and recently with our investments in MOSIP, it's gained even more. So we're probably, rough estimate, closer to around 210,000 now from what we initially put in. And this does also come with a unanimous recommendation from the Parks Board as well.
Yep. As it should.
So,
Jason, this is a 4-phase project, and you're wanting to do phase 1 now, if it's approved. So timeline for phase 1, but then what's the timeline to complete all the way down to phase 4? Are we talking just, would that accelerate in the spring? And what's your vision on if everything goes well? What's your time frame here?
If everything goes well, for total completion of the project, I would hope in the next 4 or 5 years at the longest. The lake cleanup, we're told, we may not even need a second round next year.
Right.
So the cleanup itself could be done before the end of the calendar year.
Okay.
The camping, we already have 10 pad sites there.
Right.
All we have to do is add picnic tables and ADA fire rings, which it came out to, sorry, I don't have that in front of me either. It's about $7,000.
Picnic tables are $100 a piece.
Picnic tables are cheap and easy.
Good.
In fact, the Chamber of Commerce has gifted us 6 that we're using at Harvest Moon, and they're going to be moved to City Lake after Harvest Moon's over. So we really only need to get 4 more picnic tables.
So the big thing is the cleanup, and then we can start reaping some of the benefits of the camping with a little bit of effort. Okay.
Which I've already drafted a new city code, because at the moment we don't allow camping. We're just not ready to present that yet.
Sure. Okay.
But I figure if we have a charge for a camping permit, that'll also help generate some revenue.
Absolutely.
Upkeep, yeah.
Okay. Appreciate it.
Stephanie?
Yeah. So, just kind of 2 things. You said about the cleaning up, we can do it before the winter hits?
Yes.
Okay. And then, obviously, we're really not going to be able to do too much once that comes. But I did also notice that when I was looking at grants, because a lot of those, they start opening in November for next year. So it's kind of perfect timing. So I think that's going to work out really, really well because it might change some potential plans. Chief, for the stuff, the part of the funds that we aren't using, like currently, will that stay in MOSIP and continue to grow?
That goes with any of the stuff that we have invested there, this included. So up until the minute we're ready to spend it and take it out, it's going to gain interest until that day.
Fantastic. Awesome.
Any other questions?
Great stuff, thank you.
I entertain a motion to approve resolution 2025-63.
So moved.
Second.
We're all together on it.
Everybody. I guess it's yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I hope no one would be.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's gonna be something great. Thank you, Jason, for all your,
Very
I can
good.
see
Thank
the
you.
service up there.
You're good.
Thank you for.
It's been a long time
I
coming.
like that. Moving on to public comment. Anybody,
Yeah, there's people signed up.
have any, is there people signed up for public comment?
We do.
Yep. First public comment, so we'll right through it.
Just a heads up, we're noticing our internet keeps going in and out, so our live stream is spotty. We're seeing this now. It's just based on the internet, and we keep.
Just so you know, Amazon, the big Amazon thing is having problems today.
Okay.
Yeah, their internet's
Yeah, it
been,
keeps wavering in and out, but yeah. Okay, but at least we have the podium camera up and running, so the other one's not. But good start. Okay, so we will begin with get your timer ready.
Oh,
We
he's
have a
gonna do
3
the whole
minute.
day.
Shannon Wells, 13011 East 211.
There's some rules. I don't know if you had a chance to read them, Shannon. Or just, they're simple.
I'll behave.
Promise? Okay.
Hopefully.
Don't say one thing to your husband. Oh, sorry.
Well, good evening, Mayor Chateau, members of the board, and city staff. I'm Shannon Wells. Most of you know that I'm the secretary of the Peculiar Area Chamber of Commerce. We have 7 board of directors. A few are here tonight. We have 2 advisors. Our city advisor is Mr. Dylan Eppert, and our school advisor is Dr. Al Volker. I just wanted to take a moment on behalf of the chamber to say thank you. We truly appreciate the partnership between the chamber and the city of Peculiar. Working together, the city on the community side and the chamber on the business side, we've been able to accomplish some really great things. From our festivals and city events to ribbon cuttings and community celebrations, your support means so much to us. It helps create opportunities not just for local businesses, but for families, visitors, and everyone who calls Peculiar home. As we look ahead to the Chamber's 25th anniversary, which is next year, I've been doing a little research into our Chamber's history. When the Chamber was brought back in 2001, it only happened because the city stood behind it and believed in the value of having a business voice in the community. And even though there have been some up and downs along the way, as there always are, I think we all can agree that we're in a really good place right now. We're thankful for the support of this board, from the mayor, and from the city staff. It's clear that everyone sitting here tonight cares deeply about Peculiar and wants to see it grow in the right way. A big thank you as well for sponsoring this weekend's Harvest Moon Festival, and to Parks and Rec for being so helpful throughout the whole process. It's going to be an incredible event, and we're proud to have the city to be a part of it. A city runs best when all of its parts move together, and that's exactly what we're doing. We look forward to not only having a great festival this weekend, but also to continuing the strong partnership for many years to come. Thank you all for your time and for everything you do for Peculiar, and a thank you for that is at 11 a.m. I did send out an email on the stage. We would like to recognize the mayor and the alderman.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have more?
And next up, we have Fred McLean, 21903 Gracie Drive.
I think he accidentally signed up.
Oh, okay. Well, Fred, you're on here.
You're
So if you want to come on up, you're welcome to.
Well, let's see, Fred. That it?
That is all.
All right. Still waiting for you, Scott. Still.
This is open mic night, Scott. Nothing?
All right. We're going to move to the city administrator report.
So you have the extended city administrator report in front of you.
Yes. It's extensive.
There's not a whole lot on there. Let's see. 81.
What are you doing with all your time?
Not a whole lot to use, different.
Okay.
Pages.
So a couple things to just highlight here. Obviously, if you saw it in probably multiple places, Scooters Coffee has obtained their permit and will be breaking ground within the next month and should be moving pretty quickly on that. The street repairs, as we mentioned, are getting ready to start. I do want to point out that the City Hall parking lot replacement, the concrete work's already been done. The asphalt work will begin tomorrow, and it will span Tuesday and Wednesday. I don't know yet about what disruption that's going to be at City Hall as far as services go. I'm expecting that there'll be at least some downtime with some disruption as that goes. So I just would ask for patience for anyone as they come to City Hall to drop off water bills or anything else. We'll manage that.
That's something we can put out on a post or something.
Yeah, we intend to. Yep. Other than that, the city's website, the new website is launched.
Yeah.
We're finding it to be a whole lot more user friendly than the previous version, and works pretty well. When you open it on your phone, it's a completely separate mobile version that works completely different, but a lot of the same features. So
Looks great.
very
It's
handy.
very easy
Yeah.
to use on the phone.
Thank you, Canva.
Miss Seuss did most of the heavy lifting on that, so
It looks
Thank you,
amazing.
Kama.
Thank you, Actually up to speed.
Does it help you out
State
so
of the
much
art.
too?
I will say it's much easier for me to update
I'm sure it
That's
is.
so good.
than the old one was.
Oh, you've been waiting.
Good.
You're giddy.
It's been discussed quite a bit, and we discussed in our Public Works Committee, but the new city engineer and Public Works Director, Jill Bruss, began with us last week. She's been here now a week and a long day.
Yeah.
But already making a big difference in operations. She and Mr. Salee have identified work that can be done by our Public Works crews to reduce flooding in the rodeo grounds area.
Yeah.
And it starts next week,
Oh wow.
which is awesome. With our own crews, with our own people. And
Yeah, before you start getting winter and snow. And
yep. So that's outstanding. The newly created position, the Parks and Building Maintenance, was filled, and Mr. Sean Wisdom will begin employment with us on Wednesday of this week, the new pay period. We still have open maintenance positions in Public Works, and still working on getting those filled. Other than that, they're going quite well.
Yeah.
All right.
Happy to answer any questions.
We appreciate everything you guys are doing. Welcome aboard, Jill.
One heck of
Yeah.
a team, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Appreciate what you've already done.
With the right people in place.
Yep. Amazing what you get
I mean,
done.
it's so good that Scott doesn't even have a comment.
All right, we'll move on to Board of Alderman Mayor reports and comments. I got a quick couple things. Decorating next week, maybe midweek. Anybody's going to submit
Oh, yeah.
decorations for Halloween in your wards,
Mhm.
so we got to get them to camera by midweek next week.
Copy me on what you did so I don't send you the same thing.
We can get them on the next agenda for.
Love teamwork.
And then other than that, I hear our local Cobra Kai 4th grade football team has now won the championship and is going to the Super Bowl Saturday. So we
Awesome.
want
That's
to wish
handy.
them luck.
Congratulations.
Amazing.
Good luck.
You're just
That's
such
cool.
a good job.
Other than that, anybody have any other comments on board?
I would just add also that Harvest Moon Festival is Saturday.
Mhm.
The city does have a booth there that has already been public noticed up, so none of you need to worry about more than 3 of you being there at any given time. Feel free to come. The city will have a booth, and we'd love for any of you to come in the booth and just kind of hang out and say hi and answer questions as people walk by throughout the day.
Yeah.
In costume?
Sure.
Is that going to be open when the whole thing starts at, what, 10?
I'll be wearing a police costume.
Yeah. You wearing your costume tonight?
All right.
Good.
Anybody else has anything? We'll Alderman directives.
The agenda was approved. The draft minutes of October 6, 2025 were approved as amended. Bill 2025-19 first reading was approved. Resolution 2025-60 was approved. Resolution 2025-61 was approved as amended. Resolution 2025-62 was approved as amended. And Resolution 2025-63 was approved.
Very good.
Nice.
Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.